Welcome back to another episode of SMS Games Talk, and this is Spider-Man PS4 review. Now we're going to watch the trailer. I've played the full game, but after the trailer I'll give my full review to what I thought of the game, the story, gameplay, everything.
Spider-Man. You're nothing!
Everyone hates you.
Peter, it's time to get up.
Some see self-doubt as an invitation to be greater.
This is your opportunity to prove it.
Rated T for teen.
PlayStation. Okay. PlayStation. There it is. Hold on. We got into the other trailer. We'll get into this, so I'll go...
It.
Rated T.
There it is. There's the little thumbnail picture that I like to go off. Now, look, I love this game. When I first started playing it, I played it for probably about half an hour and thought, I don't know, I just didn't, the gameplay mechanics and stuff, the web swinging mechanics, for me at first was a bit difficult for me to sort of grasp the concept of, because I've never played a Spider-Man game. I didn't play any of the previous PS2 ones. I think I did once when I was like much younger, when I was like 7 years old, and I don't even really remember that. But this was great. The graphics, even for it being a PS4 game, me playing it on PS5 even, and I'm playing the PS4 version, not the PS5 upgraded. So I was playing the PS4 version of it on my PS5, as I said. So it's still, the graphics were great, and in terms of like picking up the web swinging mechanics, for me it was a bit difficult at first, and I wasn't even going to play this game, to be honest with you, because of that. Just because of that reason, because I felt a bit like, I wouldn't say janky, I would just say it was just, for me it was a bit, I don't know, I guess I just needed to advance into it more and get more used to it. And that's why with my second play of it, because I only did like 1 or 2 missions, stopped playing it because I thought maybe this isn't for me, you know. And then the second play around, I jumped on it and I actually had a full 3-hour session on it, and I picked up the web swinging mechanics, and it was so much fun. Once you pick it up, once you know how to play this game and all the rest of it, it is so much fun. I'm thinking to myself, this was just one of those games where it's different, like in terms of the controls and stuff. It was a bit different, but you know, because I hadn't played any of the previous games except for once when I was younger. So as I said, so this was new to me, and as soon as I picked it up on my second playthrough, I was like hooked. The story was very, very good. What I love about this is the fact that it's its own standalone story. It doesn't tie into anything from the movies, or, well, it kind of does in terms of characters, you know, like Harry and MJ and Peter, obviously. Like, it sets the tone, but I like how they don't do this whole, this is how he became Spider-Man thing, and you have to play through that. And him just being boring old Peter Parker, then he gets bitten by the spider. Like, I love how they just chuck you straight into it. You're Peter Parker, you're already Spider-Man, that's already been established. And the story picks up from here. And it tells its own story. And I love that from, like, you know, from the Tobey Maguire's, you know, movies with Tobey Maguire and those original Spider-Man movies, you know, they say, well, this is Dr. Octavius and this is this story, but how this is its own standalone story. And this is definitely spoilers. So if you want to play it for yourself, again, click off the video and go play it for yourself. But if you're okay with the spoilers and you've already played through it, and you're just here for the review, it was great. I loved the game. Absolutely loved it. It wasn't, groundbreaking like Cyberpunk or anything like that, but it still had its own very compelling story. And I loved how it was Peter who helped Dr. Octavius make the arms, because he was having spinal issues and stuff, and he was starting to deteriorate, but he already had the history with, Osborn and all the rest of it. It's like, it's been a while, so I may butcher some of the names, and I may butcher some of this, but look, the MJ missions were a bit annoying at first. When they gave her the taser, towards the end of the game, it made it a little bit more interesting, because I'm like, well, MJ's actually... I felt like the stealth mechanics of the MJ missions were just very annoying, and I don't know whether... I feel like there's a lot of people who say we can do without the MJ stealth missions, but it tied into the story very well, even the Miles stealth mechanics, but he's... I liked how it all just fit, though. Like, at first it was a bit annoying when you started doing the MJ stealth missions and, like, the bomb defusing thing. That was a bit annoying at the Grand Central Station in New York. It was a bit annoying, and I definitely needed to the YouTube tutorial, like, walk through to show me how to do the defusing of the bomb, because I just didn't understand it. But I'm one where I play games for the enjoyment, so I may have it on the easier difficulties, and people may rag on me for using cheats or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm one of these people where I want the game to be enjoyed. I don't want to die 100 times over. I'm playing it for the story, I'm playing it for the gameplay and the graphics. I'm playing the game for the sake of playing the game, not because I'm looking for a challenge. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people who wants the game to be hard. I do want a little bit of a challenge. I don't want it to be too easy, because I'm in the belief that if a game's too easy, then it gets boring. So I'm a casual. I'm like a casual. I like a little bit of a challenge. I don't want it to be too hard or too easy. I want it to kind of be in the middle. But if there is walkthroughs, tutorials, like puzzles and stuff that I don't quite understand, I'm going to get some help with that. And I'm an honest gamer with that. I don't hide behind the whole I'm a pro at this, or I picked this up very good, so I'm a professional or anything. But the story was very good. How, as I said, Peter helped Dr. Octavius make the arms, and then he turned evil, and Dr. Octavius knowing that Peter was Spider-Man, like that was set very early in the game anyway. Like, it's like he knew that he wasn't just making the suits for Spider-Man. Like, come on, it was a no-brainer to work out. It's like saying, don't know who Batman really is. Like, we have no idea who's under that mask. It's sort of like saying, oh, we have no idea who Superman is. It's like one of those things. Anyway, I loved when I started getting into the game, and the web swinging mechanics grew on me very quickly as soon as I gave it a chance. And then, like, when you skill points and your web swinging abilities go up, and then by like even mid game to even towards the end of the game, and you're just swinging through the city so effortlessly. And one of the issues that I thought I was going to have with the game was I thought that your web shooters, with the swinging mechanics, that you would only be allowed to swing a certain amount of times before you would have to perch up on a building and let it recharge. I was so happy when that wasn't the case. Like the way that even the fighting combat and everything, and I don't know whether people like very Arkham Asylum. I haven't played those games, but people say the Mad Max PS4 game, it has the Arkham style fighting. I'm not familiar with that because I haven't played the Batman Arkham series games, but the fighting mechanics were a little bit difficult at first to pick up. Like, I found myself dying even on the easiest difficulty multiple times because my skill set wasn't up. I felt very overpowered in terms of just comboing, like like using triangle to, you know, web to the next person and then holding square, even now when I finish the game. Even doing that in terms of like, you just want to constantly, I find myself constantly just wanting to press square and then triangle the web to the next person. And when you get to the base, to get the base tokens, and you have to go through 6 waves of these like armored up soldier guys. And I felt that even at the end of the game, I even felt that a bit difficult because even on the easiest settings, and it's not because I'm a fucking noob or anything. It's just because holding down square in order to do that big upper punch, you know, to do that uppercut punch to launch them into the air, so you can beat the crap out of them in the air and then push triangle to web to the next person, do the same thing, so then you can get your skill perk points up and stuff, so then you can do this special circle and triangle combo, which is helpful. And also, stupid me didn't realise you can push down on the D-pad to refill your health a bit. Once those perk points are up, and your skill points, whatever it's called, up. I didn't realise that towards the end of the game. That would have really greatly helped me out a lot. But I wasn't trying to rush through the game or anything like that. I was just going mission to mission. And there was only one mission that I felt was a bit difficult. All the other ones on the easiest difficulty was pretty much a breeze once you knew how to take down the big bosses and stuff. It was Electro and the lizard guy. I'm not too good on the characters. What's his name? Who's the lizard bloke? Electro and the lizard guy. People are going to be like, did you even pay attention to the game? Yeah, I did. I'm having a mind blank moment. You know, it's like I know the names. Once it comes to me, it comes to me. But anyway, I felt that mission was a bit difficult because it was the first time they really chuck you into fighting 2 bosses at one time. They give you a bit of, you know, you're fighting Electro and then you're fighting the lizard guy, right? So and you're fighting on one-on-one. So then they give you a bit of, this is how you're supposed to defeat them. But when they put them together and you have to fight them together, and it gets a bit difficult because then you have to then use tactics and skills. Who are you going to go for first? Like, you know how to take them both down individually, but together, you have to block both their attacks and not be hit by it. Stupid me didn't know about the refilling the health thing. That would have helped me a lot in that situation, and I probably wouldn't have died 800 million times. But, you know, I'm as I said, I'm very new to these games, and now that I've got a feel to how it plays, definitely getting into what I like to call Spider-Man 2 Miles Morales is going to be very interesting because I know how the mechanics of the game works, and I don't know whether they've probably just I don't think they've really changed anything in that. I think everything's all like the same button mapping layout of the controller layout and stuff. So I think practically now that I've played through the first Spider-Man PS4, it's like this will come to me more easier because I know now, right? So going into Miles Morales, it's different. Miles is different because I'm still fresh and new on the idea, and I know you've had many years into the Spider-Verse and all the rest of it. Sorry. To accept the fact that Peter Parker is not the only Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse very much deep dives into the multiverse of there is very much different versions of Peter Parker, and there's different versions of Spider-Man. You've even got the pig, the Spider-Man pig or whatever. You know, it's this whole idea of just different Spider-Mans I'm not used to. So getting into Miles' story and it being revealed right at the end of the game, when Miles reveals he was bitten by the spider, and they both, Peter and Miles, jump up on the roof, and they're like, okay. And it's like, you've revealed you're not the only Spider-Man. There's Miles now who was bitten by the spider because it jumped on MJ and travelled. And then it's just like these spiders, I know they're radioactive spiders and stuff, but like, it's kind of like they travel like the Venom. You know, how Venom has to find the right host to latch onto. It's like this spider wasn't going to bite MJ because it didn't feel that she was a good recipient. You know what I mean? Recipient. It was waiting for the right recipient to, I'm trying not to butcher the word a million times, not the right recipient to bite. It was Miles. It's like the spider was purposely just on MJ to get to Miles, which was blatantly obvious when you saw it. But all the bosses and stuff, it was very much fun, and I liked it. And I even saw the video where people replaced the scene, the fighting scene with the cut scene with Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus, where he says "fuck you" and still like you see that where they put in the words. I think it's like AI generated or something. Where Peter says "fuck you," and it just works so well. Like, I know it's not that type of game, but it would have worked so good. Just hearing it and seeing that scene without the "fuck you" in it was like, I don't know. It just like they should have like maybe not put "fuck you" in it, but should have put something there when he was diving, when Spider-Man was diving at Dr. Octopus on the side of that tower, you know. But the boss fights were alright. They were good, and the whole game was enjoyable. You know, even doing the side missions and stuff, and the side objectives, I should say, was like, I liked a bit of a challenge. Now that I've got the full hang of it, it will make Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2 feel like something I'm now familiar with, that I can just jump into. I know how the gameplay works. I know how the mechanics of it works. Very much story-driven to this, so it being its own separate story from the Marvel movies and not having a direct connection to the MCU, it being its own thing. And also at the end, you know, it revealed that Harry has the Venom goo on him, and then he never went away for a trip that what was made out. Harry went on this trip to get away because he needed time or something, and then MJ breaking into the building in the upper apartments of not Dr. Octavius, what's his name? The Green Goblin guy. Again, I'm butchering the names. I do apologise for I'm just having a mind blank. If I refreshed up on the names before this video, it probably would have been a great idea to refresh up on that. But and all the enemies' names, I know Rhino, I know Electro. I just don't know the Lizard Bloke and the Shadow guy. You know, I'm just giving them all funny names now. But again, I am the Bogan nerd, so bear with me with the Bogan nerd stuff. I'm not 100% like right into it or whatever. I'm just somebody who plays these great games for the great experience. So you can obviously tell I'm not super into it, but I am also into being immersed into the story, into the graphics, into the gameplay, into the web swinging fun. And in my mind, I've created the Spider-Man web swinging trilogy, which is Spider-Man PS4, Spider-Man 2 Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 3, which everyone's calling Spider-Man 2, which is really Spider-Man 3 because I made 3 Spider-Man games. So, you know, from PS4 to PS5. So Spider-Man 3 being the one where you finally get to play as Venom, and I already know, you know, you get the Venomized spider suit, but you know, you don't actually get to free roam as the big Venom monster or anything. But that's going to be great to get into all of that, you know. I've still got some other games I need to play in the meantime, but I was very immersed in this, and Metacritic score, my Metacritic score out of 10, I definitely give this a, for what it's worth in the game that it is, and being its own story and everything, man, I'll give it a 7. And the only reason why I give it a 7 is because I feel like it's a bit tedious on unlocking all the suits. Like when you finish the game, you got this really cool white ghost skull Spider-Man suit, which feels like it has absolutely no place being in a Spider-Man game. It may be from the comic, maybe something I've missed that could be completely irrelevant, and I'm treating it like it's not. But what I'm saying is, I want that so bad, but you have to go and you have to get like 6 base tokens, which means you have to go through 6 waves 6 times. And that's just for the base tokens. Then you got to go out and get the other tokens for the other stuff. You know, and it's like, it's so tedious because you're at the end of the game and you're just doing a bunch of side quests now and stuff. Like, you're doing a bunch of side missions and side quests. It's kind of feels like, yeah. Like, it's definitely a game, like, even when you finish off the God of War games and stuff, it's definitely something to go back to. And I gotta say, Cyberpunk is the only game that I've... The full story, all the side missions, everything, that's the first game and the only game to date that I've done that. But these are definitely games that, like, that I will go back to, like this Spider-Man PS4. It will definitely be a game that I'll go back to and do a whole bunch of just enjoying it. Now that I've completed the story, the main mission stories, the campaign of it, or to go back and just play for the side quests and side missions to just enjoy the gameplay and unlock everything. Not because I'm an achievement trophy hunter or I'm somebody who wants to master the game 100%. I just want to go back and enjoy it now that I've completed the story. You know, one of the days, once I've played all these other games and stuff and I'm feeling in a Spider-Man mood, I can go back and I can do all that. So I love that. I love how they give you a lot to do even though you've finished the game. They still give you a lot of side objectives to do. You know? So I do like that. I do like how they've... Like, some people may say they've littered the game with it and it's way too much to go back and do. And sometimes it may seem like a tedious task to do that, but for me, it's just plenty to do. It means that the game's not over. The story may be done, but the game's still not over. You can still go back and enjoy it. You know, I'd rather that than it just be an empty city. You've done the story, now there's nothing to do. Right, I hate it when games do that. I feel like very rarely games do that now because they give you a heap of like side content to do. You do the main story missions campaign, you do that, you do the main story, you complete the main story game, but there's still plenty more to do, and I do love that. So it means that the game's not just rendered useless just because you completed the main story. But yeah, no, for what this game's worth, it's great. And I definitely give it a 7 out of 10. It was too tedious unlocking all the suits and everything. All the suits that just came naturally by going through the story was great. And, you know, getting some of the crime tokens and stuff, it was good. And the backpack tokens and the landmark tokens and stuff. You know, it's good. And I don't want things to be, like, too easy, but I don't want things to be too difficult, as I said as well. So, I very much enjoyed this game, though. And would I recommend it to people who are maybe haven't played it or are thinking about it? Definitely recommend this. By no means is it perfect, but it is a really, really good game. If you are a fan of Spider-Man, you're thinking of playing the game, you haven't played it yet, it's definitely worth it. And I'm somebody where I could have just jumped to the newest Spider-Man game, but I wasn't going to do that, what I call Spider-Man 3. I wasn't going to jump to that because I wanted to know the story. And you had to play through one after the other to get the story. And I could have just watched a whole bunch of cutscenes on YouTube, but to me, I wanted to actually enjoy and immerse myself in the game. So, yeah, no, love it. Love Spider-Man PS4, honestly, it being in its own standalone story. The graphics still hold up great. The web swinging, as you progress through the game and the story, your web swinging becomes more fast-paced, more free-flowing, easier, I feel, and just a lot more enjoyable. You know, at the start of the game, it felt a little clunky, it felt a little hard to get a hold of. As soon as I got used to it, it was great, but then when they gave you more and your web swinging abilities got better, it just felt, it does every time. Your skill points went up and everything. And it's just that progression tree and everything. It's just great to just progress up. It's great to build your Spider-Man character up. It's just great to be able to web swing through the city and it get more faster and get more enjoyable and be more free-flowing and just feel a lot more natural and just a lot more better, you know. So from the web swinging to the story to the graphics to everything, this game did it really, really, really well. So, you know, my only downside of the game was, yes, the grind was too much for the suits. I guess if you like, it's for the more dedicated people and stuff, obviously. But another thing, some of the side quests I didn't really care about. Like, I don't know whether the Black Cat stuff's good or not. I haven't really got into that. But and I know that there's DLCs as well, so I need to get into the DLCs, which I do want to do. I do want to get into the Spider-Man PS4 DLCs, which I should tell myself to do before I get into the Miles Morales stuff. Because that, to me, that's part of just completing the game. If they've got DLCs for a game, I never want to skip over the DLCs. I always want to play them. Because to me, they're very much part of the story. So I don't worry, I'm not going to just go straight to Miles. I'm going to play the DLCs and buy them too. So, yeah. Which I'm going to enjoy because it's just an add-on to the story. And the DLCs may not go on forever, or they may not last that long. They may only just be a couple of hours, but still, it's an add-on to the story, which I very much enjoy. And even the Black Cat one may just give me a little bit more insight into that, and may give me, and it's the thing. It's me understanding the story. It's me getting a feel for it, so that when I play the other games, I actually know what the hell is going on, instead of just jumping into a game and being like, oh, I do not understand this at all, So. Yeah, 7 out of 10. It's a great game. Could it have been better in some parts? Which the grind and so many side missions and side quests to do would have been great. And the grind for the suits and also the gadgets and stuff, and to progress the skill tree could have been better, in my opinion. But for what it's worth, it's still a very, very great game. It says be great. Oh well, this game was great. I feel like Miles is greater, and then Spider-Man 3 is be greater together. I feel like that's their tagline. It is, I think. But yeah, no, still Spider-Man Web Swinging Trilogy. Spider-Man PS4's main story's done. Now it's on the Spider-Man PS4's DLCs. So very much looking forward to that. And I know I should have done this after I did the whole DLCs, but I just wanted to get the main story out of the way first. So. No, I still very much enjoyed the game and very much love it, and highly recommend it. 7 out of 10. So, as always, thank you for watching this episode of SMS Games Talk Spider-Man PS4 review. And as always, if you ain't gaming it, it ain't worth shit. Well, I should say if you're not streaming it, it ain't worth shit. Take care, guys.